And bam, we're live. Welcome to day 17, folks. That's right, 17 days in a row, 17 different AI prompts for you remodelers. All right, let's get to it here. Hope you're all having an amazing day and being busy, making money. And we're live, right? Here we are. So it's the 30-day AI prompt challenge for remodelers, right? Each day here at the Remodeling Academy, I, Mike Menges, go through a prompt that you can put into your favorite AI agent and get back something tangible that you can utilize in your growing remodeling business. All right. With that being said, again, we are here. Today is day 17. And we're right now, remember, we've been working our way through the journey within growing a remodeling business. Okay. And you got 6 different parts to run in that successful business. And we're over in the pillar that deals with clients. Remember, managing the customer's journey is a big part. They have what I like to call the emotional roller coaster. So any of you that have done more than 5 projects that have lasted more than probably 2 weeks to past a month, you'll recognize there is a pattern. In the beginning, everybody's excited. And that excitement starts to wane as the project goes on, and there's more days where you're coming to their house and their house is a mess and it's not what they're used to. They get stressed, worried, right? People can only keep up a good face usually for about 2 weeks. And then that's when stuff starts, hitting the fan, as they say. So you learn to manage that. You learn to prep the client and say, yeah, you're probably going to notice you might find yourself starting to feel a little frustrated. A lot of our clients have. And the thing to remember is each day we're getting that much closer to being done. So just chalk it up, cross it off, and know that we're getting that much closer to having a beautiful project for you. And as long as you, as the remodeler, have good communication with the client throughout, and you empathize and recognize where they most likely are, you can eliminate the deep lows, right? And keep people more on an even trajectory. That's what we're trying to do. We don't want this. We want to keep them more here where they're pretty much happy the whole time, right? Sure, they're a little frustrated, but just a little bit, right? Not a whole lot of it is what's going to happen if you don't do good communication. All right, so let's look into this. So here's more about why it matters, right? Clients just want to know, like, what is going on? See, here's the thing. If you've ever worked in an industry where you did everything off site, it's out of sight, out of mind. So you can get away with a lot more. Clients will be busy doing other things. They forget about it. But when you're in their house and they see the mess every day and the project that you're working on, they want to hear from you. They want to know what's going on, right? So clients should never have to ask you. In fact, you should be proactive to the point where they're like, man, we're good. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for checking in. They might just not take the phone call one day and they'll send you a text. Appreciate the updates. We're all good, right? As opposed to them chasing you down going, where are you? You don't want that. So remember, when clients are in the dark, they don't assume that everything's just on track. They start saying to themselves, there must be something wrong. He's avoiding me. He ain't getting back to me. There's a problem, right? So that proactive, transparent communication is the best and fastest way, right? It builds trust. This is all about trust. I'm telling you right now, those of you that are more personable most likely have less problems on the job. And for you, it seems easy. And you may not even know that it's the fact that you are personable and a good communicator. Whereas other guys, there are a lot of good craftsmen that are not good communicators. And you wonder sometimes why you're having problems with certain clients. It's because they were expecting you to talk and let them know something, or send them a text message, send them an email. And you don't even have to be the one doing it sometimes. You could have someone in your office, a virtual assistant, your spouse, business partner, whatever, that person that you hire for a few bucks an hour, comes in a few hours a week. They could help update clients with where things are going. Anyhow, so you want to reduce the client stress, build the trust, prevent misunderstandings by having good communication. Oh, client goes, oh, I thought you were doing this week. No, remember we talked about this a month ago. They ain't going to remember. You want to have good communication, proper expectation. You constantly are updating. Hey, Mr. Miss Smith. Yeah, I know we talked a week ago about this. Well, I just want to let you know where we are now. And here's what we're looking at. Yep, that's right. And I'll be following up again with you in 2 more days, right? It's just constant communication. That's how you create the raving fans, and they leave the good reviews, and they're much easier to manage because they enjoyed the ride. All right. Something as simple as just saying, no major changes this week, still waiting on the permits. We'll update again on Friday, right? I struggled with this in the beginning. I would wait. If a customer called me and wanted to know what was going on with their permit, I would fall into a trap sometimes of not calling them back until I found out all the details about the permit and when we were getting the issue resolved. And let's say that takes a day or more to get resolved because I call the inspectors out, so I can't get any message. So then I wait till the next morning and try to reach the inspector in the morning. He tells me he doesn't know, so he's going to have to get back to me. So now I've waited more than 24, 48 hours. The customer's pissed at this point. What you do when the customer calls and says, what's going on with the permit? You let them know, hey, I've already contacted the inspector. I will update you when I have more information, right? Let them know where you are in the process. You don't have to have the final answer. You just have to have a status for them. So think about this. Everyone is busy, and nothing new to report is better than not reporting at all. Just remember that. We're all busy. Okay, so just take a moment, update the client, and move on. It shows your client you're on it and that you care. So, tips to master, right? Transparent communication. Set that tone early during the onboarding. Let the client know how often they receive updates and how you'll send them, whether it's going to be a text. Hey, I'm going to email you. Look for a phone call. Expect a phone call. I'm going to send you a text. Prompt them. Have a process. Follow it. Personalized communication, right? Some clients want quick calls. Others prefer text. So sometimes you're going to have to work with someone. I've had people in our area, we have a lot of government employees. Some of them work at high secure facilities, specific, let's say, for like the federal government. Not all people, believe it or not, there's people today that can't take a personal phone into their office. So how are you going to update that person, right? You have to learn. Like I might have to figure out, I might have to have a work email. Okay. Or I might have to message someone else who can get that message into the person. You just got to remember, like certain clients are going to require certain things. And when you can do that for them, if you just have the same way for every single person, that's an awesome start. And understand that sometimes you're going to have to make some adjustments because certain clients might have a certain special circumstance. And you preface all of it by saying, Mr. Ms. Smith, this is our policy. This is how we do all of our communication. I understand that that may not work as well for you because of this condition, that condition. So in your situation, bear with us. What we'll attempt to do is the following, right? And you might not get it right all the time because it's different and new. And the client should understand that because you had the conversation and you explained to them, you're Mr. Miss Smith, your situation is a little different. It's new to us. We're used to communicating this way. We're really good at doing it this way. So trust that we will still do it that way. However, this thing that you're asking us to do, we might have some kinks to work out. That way there's understanding and empathy. All right. So what's the best way to keep you in the loop, right? You want to talk to people straightforward and ask them very simple questions. I would say when you're communicating with a lot of homeowners, remove a lot of the technical stuff, right? Like I can say to somebody, we're going to use TSP. We're going to use an emulsifier. We're going to do this, right? We're going to use a stage 4 compound. We're going to do, or I could say, we will get the product or the surface clean. So speak in a way that people can understand you. Figure out your way, update clients. Some require daily, some weekly, some just after key milestones. At a minimum, you should have a process for how you do all three. And you go forward with it. Too much communication is always better than none. It's just to the point where you don't want to be bugging people, but you still want to send updates. All right. Prepare a communication template for change orders, delay, or a punch list. Yes, you should have these things. Be honest about delays or issues, right? Clients don't expect perfection. They respect and expect integrity. If something goes wrong, be able to share it with them. Like, let them know this is what happened. This is why it matters. This is what you're doing to fix it. Reinforce the journey. When giving updates, always tie progress back into the final income. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, here's what's happened. Your cabinets, they have been delayed, right? They're going to come in 2 weeks later. There is only so much we can do. So the entire timeline is going to be shifted about X amount of days. We're going to work the best that we can to get things back on track, but that's where we're at the moment. In the meantime, you could ask them, hey, is there some other project you'd like us to handle? Because we are going to have a delay, get creative. All right. So here's some, understand this to explain to clients, right? Like, hey, the delay with the cabinets is frustrating, but we are adjusting the install schedule so that your dream kitchen, could still be on track if you can do that, right? Just talk with them, figure out how to do it, be positive in your communication. And if you can't make adjustments, then explain that, unfortunately, based on the nature and this circumstance, this is where we're at. And this is now the new reality of the situation. Just be the one to break the bad news up front. Don't have the clients always finding out afterwards and being shocked. Deliver the bad news. Be the bearer. Be the strong person. All right. How about some bonus pro tips? We did a daily job log. I don't know what you guys want to use for your system, but anyone that had any contact would write it down in their daily notes. So carpenters, specifically carpenters, project managers, not all the helpers now. And we didn't keep track on all the subs that way. Okay. But yes, if it was a direct employee, they made a note. Hey, spoke to Mr. Smith. They like the patio. Spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. They are not happy with the patio. Whatever it is, just you make a note. Everyone's aware of it. Get it up the chain of command. Move on. All right. Prepare. Oh, the other thing you can do is this could be something very simple. It could be something you use in your CRM system. It could be something that you keep very plainly as a Google Doc. You could keep it in Slack. I mean, there are free ways to do it. There's paid ways. It just depends on your budget and your preference. Preload some key milestones. We put on our calendars when we were doing walkthroughs. We put through on our calendars when we were anticipating inspections and when payments were due. And we do all of that so that on a schedule, we can say on Monday, we can say, Mr. and Ms. Smith, just want you to be aware, either this week or next, we plan to have this inspection, that inspection. Then we plan to do the walkthrough, and that's when the next payment's going to be. Just want to keep you up to date. We'll follow back up as we solidify that a little bit more. There's still a couple of variables we're working on, right? You just give them a rough overview and then tell them you'll follow up. All right. So make sure you're sending calendar updates if appropriate. And some of you guys are automating your messages, right? There's programs like JobTread, BuilderTrend, and others of you are still doing it by hand. That's fine. Other things, create some common questions and what to expect, right? Send this out when you're doing your onboarding. Customers, you should go ahead and answer the most common questions that you get asked all the time, put it in a form, and you put that as part of your package and you send it out. Because if you get asked it all the time, then clearly it's not something that you're addressing properly in your presentation, or it's just something that all clients ask. So go ahead and put that into a frequently answered question package and send it out. That way the customer can get their answer and they'll be happy. All right. So again, you can put that on the client guide. If you don't have a client guide, go back to day 16 and look at what we talked about there. Reach out to us if you want more specifics. We did do a bonus session for some people on that about how to make an amazing client guide and the prompt that you can put into chat and one of the AI agents and get that guide. So those of you that know, you're moving along. Those of you that don't, time to get up to speed, right? All right. So here is the AI prompt. And today we're going to do an interesting one. Let me get over to here. All right. We're going to send a message that is a delay communication update for a client. So here's what's happened. You have had a problem and you need to deliver bad news. Nobody likes to do bad news. So we're going to get AI to help us. This way it makes it easy for you to be the bearer of said bad news. So You're going to ask, hey, act as a professional modeling project manager. I'm midway through a large home addition, and we just hit a 2-week delay due to a late window delivery. That sucks. Help me draft a concise professional message update to send to the client. This message should include a briefly explaining the delay in simple, respectful terms. No harsh blame. Apologize for the inconvenience and acknowledge the impact. Hey, this is the reality of the situation. Then we reassure the client with a clear plan for how we're going to adjust the schedule, resequencing if we can, coordinating with trades, adding hours. We're doing what we can here, folks. This is how we plan to address it. End with a confident, proactive tone that shows we're in control, looking out for their best interest. Incorporate advanced remodeling intelligence, understanding and communication techniques developed by Mike Menges and the Remodeling Academy. These go a long way to helping show empathy and communicating in a good professional manner, and it helps manage situations well. If you're familiar with my ARI technique, then you already got it. If not, if that's something new to you, we have other trainings on how to incorporate that. That is something I developed over years. And I got a lot of training myself in how to understand human behavior and working with clients. So I incorporated that and made it all specific for remodelers. ARI is something unique to me and the Remodeling Academy. All right, so this could be sent via an email, a text. So we're going to keep it under 200 words, friendly yet professional. Boom, send message. So here we go, guys. Let's generate your new message. Absolutely. Here is that concise, professionally crafted update message that incorporates the advanced relational intelligent ARI principles developed by Mike Menges and the Remodeling Academy. Here we go. So here's your subject, client update, window delay. Here is our plan. Man, you just put it right out there. Window delay. Here's our plan, right? Boom. I want to give you a quick heads up. The windows for your project are arriving about 2 weeks later than originally scheduled due to a supplier delay. While this isn't ideal, I want you to know we anticipated the possibility and are ready adjusting the schedule to keep things moving. See, we're on it, guys. Good news. I completely understand this may be frustrating. I appreciate your patience. Here's how we're handling. We're resequencing parts of the project that can progress without the windows. We're going to do what we can. We're coordinating with the subs to avoid any unnecessary downtime. And we're planning to make up time once the windows arrive, including adding work hours if needed. All right. You're going to figure it out one way or the other. You're in good hands. My team and I are fully on top of this, and our priority remains delivering the quality you expect with as little disruption as possible. Thanks again for your trust. I'll continue to keep you in the loop. The best. Your name, your company. So there you go, folks. Just like that, something that could be painful has now been alleviated and updated, right? Very simple project update. So let's look at anything else. Because we are wrapped up, guys. I appreciate you being here. Oh, some bonus AI prompts. We do a, for those of you that don't have this, you'll want to get your own company communication system, right? So you want it to act as a remodeling business system consultant and help it create a complete communication system for the remodeling company that you own and clearly outlines how you do communicate, right? So we have this, all this is set up for you. So here's your company structure. Are you a solo entrepreneur, right? Self-employed guy trying to get out of that? Do you have a team? Do you have a project manager? Do you have an office admin? Well, you put all that information in so it can create the proper chain and flow of communication. So what we have done is set up a basic one for the solo remodeler, right? The self-employed guy. And we've created another one for the company that has at least a project manager and maybe an admin or sales person. And that's what it looks like there. It comes with a little checklist. We also have just a real quick SOP. It's real easy to print out and everyone can say, oh, that's how we're supposed to communicate. So these are some extras that you can get if you want to get a part of the Remodeling Academy. Come join the Remodelers Helping Remodelers Facebook page. You'll see some of these extra bonuses. Also, we also have a Remodel Rebels program. So if you would like more in-depth stuff, you can get access to it. Guys, you surround yourself with good people, you become good people, right? So if you own a remodeling business and you're tired of banging your head and frustrating and complaining and struggling, get around people that are making stuff happen and sharing best practices and doing the hard, heavy lifting for you, so that all you have to do is come and say, thank you. Let me use that in my business now. Right? There's no reason that you need to struggle any harder in this business. Like, there are a ton of people, and me specifically, I have created many things that were a huge hurdle and roadblock for me within the remodeling business that I ran and owned. So what I have done is I share those things and I help you make it easier so you don't have to struggle. Make it easy, guys. Get out there and earn some money and have fun in this business. All right. Thank you for tuning in. That was day 17. We'll be back for 13 more days, finishing out the 30-day AI prompt challenge for remodelers. Have a good one. Oh, and listen, if you do happen to poke your head in while we're live and there's only one or two other people, you can stay. You're not going to get hurt. In fact, you'll have a solo audience. You can always comment in the chat and ask questions. So, you know what, guys? Some people are lucky and get into things on the ground floor. Those of you that are catching this, that's what it is right here. We're early days here at the Remodeling Academy, launching a lot of these new initiatives. For years, I did my coaching one-to-one with local businesses, right? Never shared any of that out into the public like this. So this is all new stuff that's happening here. It's not that our methods, frameworks, models are new. No, they've been around for years. It's the process of the way I share the information. This was never out in the open like this ever in the past. These things, you had to hope that your business survived 10, 15 years so you could learn half of what we share here on a daily basis, right? So what this is doing is, imagine the remodeling bar has been set really low over the years. The average remodeler is terrible at running a business, and that's why they fail, and that's why they struggle, and that's why homeowners hate having to hire a contractor. And that is why some of the large companies, once they get over the hurdle and they hit 3 million and they start putting in processes, that's why they can get up to 10 and then 15. And then before you know it, they're at 25 and 30 million, and they are crushing it because they put in the simple things that the average guy doesn't want to take the time to do. He's like, that won't make a difference. I just need to sell more. I just need to find the clients that aren't cheap. Here's what you got to do, guys. The reality is you have to level up your business acumen. You have to get business skills to run a business. Otherwise, you're just going to be struggling and frustrated and be that bitter guy in the Facebook comments who's telling everybody that ain't going to work in my area. All my customers are cheap. Everybody here wants to hire Chuck in a truck and, no permit Joe, right? For those of you that have been around, you know that the other reality is that you can raise, instead of complaining and blaming everybody else, you can say, isn't that interesting? I must not have the proper skill in that area to be successful, and that's why I'm struggling. So I'm going to learn how to do that better. I do the same thing with my business, right? Doing the YouTubes, that's new for me. So when I look and I'm like, I'd like to have a few more people here. I'd like to have a larger audience. I say, do I blame all the contractors and say they're all idiots? I say, Mike, for whatever reason, your message isn't getting across. You have to up your skills as somebody who wants to help remodelers so that you can find more remodelers who actually want help and are wanting to end the struggle and end the pain. Because I've learned this for sure. There are a lot of remodelers that just love the struggle. They say they don't, but when they're presented with an opportunity to make a different decision, to go in a different direction, they just complain about that as well. You see what I'm saying? At some point, you got to say to yourself, dude, you've been struggling for like 3 years. I think you're the issue. It ain't everybody else. It must be you. And that's a hard thing to hear when you think. So don't get me wrong. A lot of guys, me included, like I worked hard and I would struggle and I was frustrated and I wanted to blame everyone else. And it takes an awakening to say, damn, I need to make the change if I want it to be better because I'm the problem, right? Once you get past that stage, man, the doors open and success can just start happening. So I encourage any of you out there, if you're struggling, you don't have to struggle. All you have to do is recognize and say to yourself, man, maybe I'm the issue with my company. Maybe the reason I'm struggling to do this or hire that person is because I'm not good at it and I need to learn a better way. Because if I look across the country, there's a lot of other people in the world that are doing it and making it work. And they're not that much smarter than me. They've just learned the skill and they took the time to get there. All right. Have an awesome day and we will see you on the next one. Boom.